What's up guys, it's another workout vlog. So I didn't actually know if I'd be snatching or not today. My elbow has been pretty bad over the last couple days. So I devised a plan to see if any of the movements that I was doing were going to cause any inflammation, and if that inflammation was going to be harmful. Basically, in between each set, I touched my nose with my fingers of my left hand. Now this might seem really dumb and rudimentary, but the inflammation in the elbow was stopping me from closing off that elbow, so I physically couldn't touch my face last time it flared up because it was just too painful in that joint. So I decided that if I could touch my face, I was fit to continue training. So 1 minute and 3 minutes into my rest period, I would touch my nose, and if there was no pain and no inflammation that was stopping me from being able to do it, I would continue with the session. So one of the things I did in between each set of snatches was some of these overhead holds. As you can see, I'm pretty unstable, and as I go down, that rotation in the elbow happens, which is a thing I'm trying to avoid. That internal rotation is something that is currently putting a lot of torque onto the radius, and that is causing me pain and inflammation. So the entire objective of today's session was to perform some dip snatches, dip power snatches specifically, while keeping that bicep facing up during my receiving. I'm best at keeping that bicep facing up when I'm in my power position, but as soon as I start catching towards the bottom, the tension through my lats just rotates that inwards just a little bit, and I'm unable to get that full external. So what you'll notice, a couple sets in, I'm up at 135 on the bar, and my overhead stability is already improving. This is something that I'm actually going to be doing every single day of the week, these overhead squats with the unstable balance overhead. And the entire objective is to keep that bicep facing up towards the ceiling the entire range of motion, so that eventually I'm able to receive the bar in that position as well. As you notice, this last rep started going a little hectic. It did hurt a little bit, which is why I had that facial expression. But if you saw, that bicep rotated and faced forwards on that last rep. So I was pretty happy to even be dip power snatching 135. I didn't think my elbow was going to tolerate it, but it did, and I was just pretty pleased about that. So I decided to continue adding weight, decided not to let my ego get in the way and tell me to full send, but I still added a little bit more weight to it. So I had a couple misses on the session. I left the bar out in front on those reps. Honestly, because I was so in my head, I felt like I could not drive through my legs in any sort of powerful way. And again, it was just a very mentally demanding session on me. So 185 was the first one that I left out in front, but I corrected that on my second attempt, since the first one didn't really hurt my elbow too much. I will be completely honest with you guys though, I am struggling with some right rotator cuff issues. Because on a couple of the reps that I tweaked my elbow on, I apparently loaded that right rotator cuff extremely, and it's been very tender ever since. So when I've missed these, I'm actually missing because the right shoulder, not because of the left elbow. So anyway, was pretty pleased to build up to 215 and it moving nice and clean. The 225 did not. And this was the first time I experienced pain in the elbow again. The reason why the bar kicked forward was because the right rotator cuff felt some ping to it, so I had to step forward, which loaded the elbow as it rotated, and after that I was unable to touch my nose without pain, so I called the snatch session. I then took about 8 build sets of doubles to get up to my 365-pound doubles that I had today. I had 5 sets of these doubles. Pretty happy that the weight was moving the way it was. Again, mental session, my legs just weren't feeling the strongest. I also made the decision that because I'm not able to destroy myself with my Olympic lifts right now, that I would shatter myself with accessory work. Because if my legs aren't needed for heavy Olympic lifting, I might as well have no legs. So I had a lot of work today. It was a very long session. I also, after all of the stuff that I'll show you today, I also had leg press, hamstring curls, leg extensions, and some other accessory work, hack squat as well. So a lot of work going into the legs today. I won't show you all of my sets of snatch pulls, deficit snatch pulls, because really that's boring. So here are some 405 Romanian deads. I had a couple sets of 3s on these, and it's been about a year since I did a Romanian dead, so I was at 405, and on my last set, on my 3rd rep, my upper back gave out. So we'll see my shoulders slide forward. I do not continue the rep if my upper back gives out. So yeah, overall really pleased with the session, lifted some really heavy weight, moved some stuff, and managed to snatch without pain for the most part. So I was pretty happy about it.